Alright, Ahoy crew members, welcome back. Today we're talking about changing the world passively. So one of the things I say at the end of all of these videos is that I want to keep you improving both for yourself and for your community. Today we're sort of touching on that community aspect. One of the big things about self-improvement is that you essentially increasing your personal power so that you have more agency over your life and so that you can change things more. And so because of this, it also means that you have more power to change things about the world. You have more leverage to be able to fight things like climate change and fight things such as poverty. And it means that you're able to do things which benefit the world and benefit your communities because you've got that leverage. So as much as it's great once you've got that leverage, and it's great once you actually have sort of achieved that higher level of income and that sort of a thing, there are things that you can still be doing right now to be helping out with particularly climate change I'm going to focus on in this video, but I'm sure there's other things that I haven't thought of yet, which are ways that you could passively change the world for the better. And I know that by saying that, it seems like maybe this isn't, a real thing. You can't really do anything passively. Like, how does this work? And I'm going to tell you about two different browser extensions that just perfectly illustrate my point for what I mean by passively changing the world. So the first resource I want to share with you is this search engine called Ecosia. So that's Ecosia. Essentially, this is a search engine just like Google or Bing or whatever, but instead of the money generated through ads just going into their pockets and to their shareholders and stuff, instead it goes towards planting trees. So this is a really easy way to start planting trees and start combating climate change with pretty much no effort, right? Like, you just install it as an extension, you set it as your default search engine, and then done. That's it. And then just whenever you search anything, you're helping save the planet. Like, it's pretty great. I think it's roughly 45 searches will plant one tree from memory. So that's pretty good, particularly with the amount we're on our computers these days and searching stuff. If we can be using software like this to just passively be planting trees, then that's pretty good. And yeah, it's very straightforward. The other one that I want to talk about is something called Tabs for a Cause, which Ecosia, but instead of every time you search, it's every time you open a tab. This is also very powerful. The money isn't just directed towards trees for this one though. There's a variety of different charities that you can give. They're called hearts, so it's the little points that you get every time you open a tab. You direct them to a certain charity. I have mine set just to automatically go towards trees. I think the automatic ones are a lot simpler just because then you don't have to click and allocate your hearts yourself. Instead, it just sort of automatically does it, and you can be even more passive that way and you don't have to think about it. I think these both illustrate a really cool idea, which is that doing active things is great and it's really important, and I'm not trying to say you shouldn't do that, right? I think things like going out and planting trees and figuring out how you can use less electricity, going towards electric vehicles, all those sorts of things, rallying governments, those are all fantastic and those are really important things that we should be doing. But in saying that, the easiest things that we can do are often the most powerful. And by doing these things, which essentially passively help to change the world for the better, I think are really massive because anyone can do them without having to put in any effort. And for the modern climate, with a lot of people being particularly lazy and more we're relying on technology, I think both Tabs for a Cause and Ecosia are just great examples of ways that we can be benefiting the entire world just through our actions that we take anyway, every single day. Another couple of examples that I've got, which are perhaps a little bit more work, but are still definitely things that we could all do, are things like changing your bank to a bank which doesn't invest in like fossil fuels and invests ethically. So there are different websites you can look up online which will tell you the different things that the different banks will invest in. I know here in Australia, Bank Australia is a fantastic bank in terms of investing your money ethically. It's completely owned by its user base, so that's really fantastic. Another one is your retirement savings. So here in Australia, that's superannuation. I think in the States it's 401k from memory. But if you direct these towards an ethical fund, then that means that your money is being invested into the betterment of the world instead of things like coal, instead of these really polluting companies. So I think that's really great. And of course, you want to sort of take a deeper look than just on the surface what they say. You want to look at like, well, what do they actually specifically invest in? But once you've done that, once you sort of do a bit of research and you set them, then all of your money is going towards changing the world and you're not really doing anything, right? You're not doing anything extra. These things are just helping naturally, just through you living, you help change the world. And I think that's really special, and I think that's really a great thing that we can all be doing. And as I said, it takes basically no effort. It's that initial setup and then you're done. So look, just to wrap up, my big question to you guys is, how else can we be doing this? What other ideas do you guys have? I'm sure you guys might have other little programs and stuff that you're a part of which do a similar thing. So I'd love to hear about those in the comments. I think this could be a great forum for figuring out different ways that we can passively change the world and that we can encourage others to do the same as well. I think the more people we can get onto these sorts of programs, the better, because, you know, it doesn't negatively affect their life. You know, Ecosia works just as well as Google, but it will help change the world for the better. And I think that's great. And as people on self-improvement, we definitely, we're training the skills to be able to influence others in this way. I think that's really, really important. And so yeah, the more ideas we've got in the comments, the better. So that's all for this video. It's a bit of a different one, I know, but I think it's a really cool idea and a really important one. And it sort of speaks to that second element of the self-improvement, which is then going on to use the skills you've learned to help change the world for the better. So hopefully this one got you thinking. I've linked those 2 browser extensions in the description, so they're completely free. I recommend that you install them, but it's completely up to you. I just think they're really fucking cool, really valuable. If you've liked this video, make sure to leave a like if you thought it was valuable. Also make sure to share it with a friend. I think the more people that can see this and the more traction we get, and the more that we can make YouTube like this video, the more people that we can hopefully encourage to be doing things like this, and the more ideas we can get for ways that we can be passively changing the world. So really, this is a very important video to me, and I would greatly appreciate it if you would leave a like. Also subscribe for more self-improvement content. I release, well, 2 at the moment. I'm moving to 3 videos a week, and they're all in self-improvement, all giving you the tools to be able to help change the world. So I think it's highly valuable. It's something which is well worth it for you, so I would greatly appreciate it as well. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.